Let's take a ride out to the garden that we have planted for 2022, shall we? It's hot, but I'm tired of sitting in the house. So let's take a ride and a walk. Hey, we got a little dark cloud there. I wish it would rain. Days like today, you got to get all your work done early. And I just can't stand sitting in the house. It just drives me nuts. So let's walk out here and look at the garden, shall we? Like I said, short drive. We won't go in the garden, but I can kind of take you around a little quick walk. So, see if I can get this on so I can tell where I'm pointing at. So this is okra now. I know that I have that planted too thick, and I really should have thinned it before, but I just couldn't bring myself. It just looks pretty like that. So I'm not, if it makes, it makes. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Next row is jalapeno peppers. This row is tomatoes, and they're doing pretty good so far. They look pretty good. I'm excited about them. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed. I struggle as a tomato grower, but I'm still trying. Got some green tomatoes on there that maybe will make it. And these brushes out there. This is my volunteer pumpkin patch. Well, what I did here was we actually bought some pumpkins last year because I didn't. This is where I normally plant pumpkins anyway, but I didn't get them planted last year. But we bought some, and I just set them out and let them rot, and voila, I got my pumpkin patch, and it's blooming good. Just hope that I can keep disease down out of it and insects. I have had some really good pumpkins that out of that little patch of ground. Walk back over here in the shade. Okay. Get back over here in the shade. So this row right here is it's very sparsely. I didn't thin this. This is just the way it came up. Okra, and I just kind of let it go in hopes that I could get a few plants out. I mean, get a few pods out of it. But I'm starting to grow some sucker tomato plants, or tomato plants from suckers. And what my plan is planting them in the skips there, or maybe I've got room over there. I don't know. It just depends. And then this is my pea patch, and it was skippy, but it filled in really good, and we've picked a lot of peas off of it. Now, some folks would say I'm late, and I would agree with that as far as getting stuff in the ground. This ground particularly is where there's a lot of it's heavy ground, and it's just so wet early spring that it's really hard for me to get anything in the ground early. But that's my garden on this side. Now we're gonna take a walk through the woods, and I'll show you my watermelon patch. Now, I'm almost certain I planted the watermelons too late, but again, I'm doing this for fun mainly. I did the first, and it's really weird. the first year that I planted watermelons in this place I'm going to show you. It's a sandier soil than what we just saw. And I got a little garden path over there, or a little path. The first time I planted watermelons out here, it was great. I don't know what I did, or I don't know. It was just the perfect time for them. But we got like 13 watermelons off of this little patch of ground, and it did really good. I was tickled to death with them. This is a watermelon patch, and I planted 7 hills, I think 7. And they have started to bloom a little bit, but like I said, I think I planted them too late, so I'm not anticipating them really making a whole bunch out here. Also, I planted turnip greens out here last year, and I'm thinking this is a shaded. If I angle this up, it's really. I mean, this part where these are, as you can tell, it gets a lot of sun. But I don't know. I couldn't get any turnip greens to grow out here for some reason. And now, over there, I've got some volunteer turnip greens coming up from last year. So, you know, I don't know. I scratch my head with this ground out here. It's a good looking little spot, but I don't know. Like I said, that first time I planted watermelons out here, it was just a bumper crop. I've tried growing squash out here. I've tried growing a number of things. It's just not successful. Somebody watching this probably say, well, you need to do a soil test. And you're right, I do. But I just kind of take it as it goes. This is a scuppernine bush really going bonkers. I never get any scuppernines off of it. The birds get to them before, and I've tried putting netting on it, and it's just a chaotic mess. But at least the wildlife's getting something out of it. Alright, well, we'll walk back over to the wheeler. And I tell you what, having a place, I don't care how big it is or how small, because I've had smaller, it's work if you want to keep it looking like something. And I'm still trying, still learning. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that little tour.